Hey guys, it's your favorite consumer law advocate, Rebecca Simone. And I'm back with another informative video to talk to you guys about FDCPA and debt collection. So, since debt collection is one of the largest issues that affect people's credit reports, as in creditors, third-party creditors reporting things on your credit report from accounts that may have been sold, closed, charged off, things like that. I'm going to read to you guys some case law from the United States Code annotated book I have here. This is specifically Title 15, which is on commerce and trade. Within Title 15, you'll find the Consumer Protection Act. So that's where I'm reading from, specifically 1692E. This section prohibits misrepresentation of information. So first of all, I want to introduce the case law to you guys. So in this case, the question was how the debt was transferred, which should always be a question to you guys, if the debt was legitimately transferred to the quote-unquote debt collector, servicer, whatever, right? A lot of people don't think about that, but just because somebody says, oh, you owed this person and now you owe me, doesn't mean that you lawfully owe them. Doesn't mean they have a legally enforceable contract that they can enforce against you. Now, if you don't know how to defend yourself, anybody could fight you. Right? Anybody could bring a case against you if you don't know how to defend yourself. But once you know your rights, people have to prove to you and validate it and actually follow the law. So I want to teach you guys how to arm yourselves so you'll know how to fight that. All right? So here we go. Now, the debt collector's employee's affidavit attached to a state court complaint seeking a judgment against a consumer for unpaid credit card debt, allegedly falsely representing the consumer as the holder in due course. So I want to pause and just say that in this situation, a third party misrepresented themselves as the holder in due course. They probably called themselves the current creditor, current servicer, whatever. That is making the consumer feel like you were harmed, you can collect, you can sue them if they don't pay you. It went on to say that action was actionable under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, prohibition against false representation or implication that accounts have been turned over to innocent purchasers for value. I want to read that one more time all the way through. So a debt collector's employee's affidavit attached to a state court complaint seeking a judgment against a consumer for unpaid credit card debt, allegedly falsely representing the debt collector as the holder in due course, was actionable under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, prohibition against false representation or implications that the account have been turned over to innocent purchasers for value. I'm saying that to say that a lot of times debt collectors will misrepresent a legal status or the fact that they are not the injured party that is trying to collect or sue you for the debt. A lot of times they will misrepresent themselves as the original creditors or as the assignee of the original creditor, saying that they are now the current creditor. Put a one in the chat if you've had a collection agency tell you they are now the current creditor when there was, in fact, an original creditor that you had a contract with and you've never even heard of the third-party creditor until they reached out to you. Put a one in the chat if you've experienced something like that. Now, if you have to respond to those notices or they will continue to try to reach out to you. When you run from them, they are basically encouraged by that. It's like a shark sensing blood in the water. They're gonna attack you because they know you're weak. So at this point, I want to read to you guys 15 USC 1692E. Now, pay attention to this because this is where your bread and butter is when it comes down to violations. So this law says that, or this code says that a debt collector may not use false, deceptive, or misleading representations or means in connection with the collection of any debt. Without limiting a general application of the foregoing, the following conduct is a violation of this section. Now, it's actually 16 different violations. I'm not going to read each one of them to you. I'm going to read the ones that I've seen the most. So number one is the false representation or implication that a debt collector is vouched for, bonded by, or affiliated with the United States or any other state, including the use of a badge, uniform, or facsimile. The false representation of the character, amount, or legal status of any debt, or any services rendered or compensation which may be lawfully received by any debt collector for the collection of any debt. 4. The representation or implication that non-payment of any debt will result in the arrest or imprisonment of any person, or the seizure, garnishment, attachment, or sale of any property, or wages of any person, unless such action is lawful and the debt collector or creditor intends to take such action. 5. The threat to take an action that cannot legally be taken or is not intended to be taken. I'm going to jump down to 7. The false representation or implication that the consumer committed any crime or conduct that disgraced the consumer. So basically, anything to defame your character.